Today in the Daily Dose, William Wallace. After English King Edward I demanded homage from Scottish nobles during his war against the French, instead, in 1295, a rebellious Scottish Council of 12 signed a treaty of mutual assistance with France, known now as the Auld Alliance, prompting an invasion by the British at Berwick-upon-Tweed, which ignited the Wars of Scottish Independence. In Blind Harry's The Wallace, the poet writes of Guardian of Scotland war leader William Wallace that he was a tall man with the body of a giant, with all his limbs very strong and firm, while legend records Wallace's height at 7 feet tall. As the fight for Scottish independence gained momentum, on September 11, 1297, Wallace and fellow commander Andrew Moray proved victorious over the English at the Battle of Stirling Bridge. Despite being vastly outnumbered, Wallace and Moray held their offensive until nearly 10,000 British cavalry and infantrymen had crowded past a quite narrow bridge at Stirling, causing the bridge to collapse when English mercenaries retreated in panic when Wallace called his men to attack. Moray would die from wounds suffered during the battle, forcing Wallace to go it alone during large-scale raids into northern England. In response, in April of 1298, King Edward struck again at the Battle of Falkirk, recruiting some 26,000 largely Welsh mercenaries to put an end to Scottish resistance. The battle would prove a decisive victory for England, forcing Wallace to resign as Guardian of Scotland in favor of future King Robert the Bruce. After his resignation, many historians believe that William Wallace left on a mission to the court of King Philip IV of France, pleading his case for military assistance in the Scottish struggle for independence, returning home in 1304 to participate in skirmishes against the British at Hapreux and Erneside. Betrayed by Sir John Menteith, a Scottish knight loyal to King Edward, Wallace was taken to London, where he stood trial for treasons and atrocities against civilians in war, as court records elaborate, sparing neither age nor sex, monk nor nun. Crowned with an oak garland and named King of the Outlaws, Wallace responded to the court's charges by replying, "I could not be a traitor to Edward's, for I was never his subject." Following his guilty verdict, on August 23, 1305, William Wallace was hanged, drawn, and quartered, forever cementing his battle cry, "Bright no Bass," or "Death and Victory," into the annals of Scottish history.
For one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
And there you have it, William Wallace. Today in the Daily Dose. Get your nerd on with the Daily Dose. And if you enjoyed today's episode, share the link with a friend or colleague so that they too can learn something new every day.